Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. But first, happy new year. I hope you all have a great year, enjoy yourself, take some good rest. Hope you have the best year you've ever had so far. And thank you so much for the support in my last video. Y'all were so nice about it and it was just such an awesome experience. Thank you so much. So today we will be doing a little Q&A session where I'm gonna answer questions that I had like in my last video about JC life and like my channel. So I have a few questions and I'll do my best in answering them. First of all, was JC how you expected it to be? To be honest, JC was kind of how I expected it to be because I was from a school where a lot of people were gonna come to JC. So I had a lot of seniors who I was close to who would always be like, oh, JC is like this, JC is like that. Like, be expected for JC to be really hard. Plus, I had my dad's co-workers who also went to JC and they were like, oh, imagine Sec 4, but it's 2 times the intensity and for 2 whole years. Like, it's just that complex the entire time. So I was like, okay, so it's gonna be really hard. So I came into JC expecting to be like, this is difficult, but I'm gonna get through it because it's only 2 years. Yeah, it was kind of how I expected it to be because I had a lot of seniors and a lot of people already prepping me for it. So that's why I was like, yeah, seems about right. Okay, next. Why did you choose JPJC? Plus, what's your uploading schedule like? Okay, I got 16 or 14 for my O's and I couldn't get into CJ. And then YI was too like it was, I think YI is like 18, so I was like, yeah, I don't want to go to that school. So then I chose JP because like it's in the middle of CJ and YI. So yeah, it was like just a lot of elimination process kind of thing. And uploading schedule, I hope to upload once a week, so weekly vlogs. Also, I'm well aware that I said I'll upload once a week and then I post my next video like 12 days later. But J2 just started, I'm trying to like figure it out, and editing takes me a while because I like just started editing like long length videos. Because I just started editing like long length videos. So this will definitely take me a while. So bear with me. Let me figure out my time management and like let me figure out how to edit better. And I will definitely start uploading once a week. Until then, posts will be kind of irregular, but I'll do my best. Speaking of uploading soon, I have OGL training from the 3rd Gen to the 5th Gen. And now the video is gonna be about my OGL training. So day 1 started off and they made us do a bunch of games and it was like just a bunch of talks. Like it was 90% off. And then like 10% off.
So you have more.
We have so many. Can we tap into the ground though?
So there was a lot of talks. They taught us like debriefing skills and like just a bunch of things. There was this game which was like team building exercises just for us to get to know each other better, and then that was pretty fun. But the days were so freaking long. Like started at 8 a.m. and ended at 6 p.m. which was crazy to me. Like I was so stressed out, my skin got worse. Like you can visibly see that my skin has gotten worse since like I've shot that video. Also, here is a real life footage of me from day 1, like after the whole thing was done, talking about how exhausted I am. It's currently 11 p.m. and I just did some econs so I can have some like, okay, I did something today. And I had LTC from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and I am exhausted, like mentally, physically, spiritually. Like we had to do cheers consistently. They made us dance for like 2 hours straight. And then there were so many talks and they made us sit in the hall, so my back hurts. And it was crazy. Like, you know those cheerleading camps in America? It felt like that to me. Like genuinely. I am so tired and I can't wait to sleep, but I'm gonna finish up a few more things and then sleep by like 12. And then day 2 was like a lot of dancing and like a lot of singing and was practicing cheers and like togetherness and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of crazy. There were still some games which we had to like test out for the J1s, and that was fun. There were also times in the OGL camp where we kind of got bored and like didn't have anything to do. So on the first day, because we were given like on the second day, sorry, we were given like blindfolds. So then we used it and we played blind mice, and it was so freaking fun. No. Polo. And then we had lunch breaks and you know all the classic stuff, and it was really interesting. I really had like fun. I think it was a good experience. And then day 3 was actually kind of stressful because we got scolded because we like were kind of slow, and they took our phones. So I have no footage of day 3 because they took our phones in the morning and they were like, let's see how you handle communication cutoff. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was kind of crazy because as someone living in the 21st century, I didn't realize communication can be cut off that often, but it did, and it was whatever. Everybody was super excited to go home at the end though. Yay! It's done! Yeah! Okay, next. Where'd you get your earrings? Thank you for asking. I changed my earrings because I was super duper bored the other day, but I got my old ones from Shopee. Next. What were highlights for J1? My highlights for J1 I think was very basic, but I'm gonna start off with MNO. I loved MNO. It was so fun. It was just talking to like new people you've met for like 8 hours straight, and I really liked it. And I loved my OGLs, so I had a lot of fun too, and I'm still friends with some of them, so it was like we formed some really good bonds. Another highlight was CCA. Like I love my CCA. Like I absolutely love it. I'm the vice president and we just help facilitate the sessions, and it's so fun. Like it's just us talking about current events. Like what more could you want? It's helping your GP, it's helping you gain more knowledge of the world. It's amazing, honestly. Another highlight I would say was definitely Lit Symposium. So my school, we had this Lit Symposium where like a bunch of like all the literature students from J1 and J2 got together, and then like a selected of them put up a performance based on the book that they're doing that year, and it was so freaking fun. And I was the MC for that, and it was such an experience. Like it was just so fun. I met so many people. A lot of people remember me from the Lit Symposium, and it was really really fun. Like oh my god, it was awesome. My friends bought me flowers, and I had an awesome experience because I managed to get like to watch all the performances in the rehearsal and see how different they were from the actual performances that happened, and it was just so mesmerizing overall. And I love Lit, so it was so fun just to watch people put up their interpretation of the books they were doing, like their interpretation of Frankenstein, their interpretation of St. John. Oh, it was beautiful. Okay, next, how was JC1 and are there any tips for JC1? Okay, JC1 was stressful. Like I said before, someone said it was like Sec 4 but times 2. I'm gonna be honest, it's like Sec 4 but like times 3. So you have to like keep in mind that it's so much at all times. Like something is consistently happening. Like it's kind of hard to catch a break, you know? But like it was definitely memorable because I managed to make great friends. It was like, it went back in a flash because something's consistently happening. You don't have time to like be like, okay, this much has gone by, this much is left. You just keep thinking of what's gonna happen next. So you're like, okay, I finished this week, next week I have this, next week I have that. You just keep going, and then by the time you realize it's the end of the year. Like what? Okay, tips for J1 would definitely be have good company. Because yeah, the classic tips, manage your time, make sure you know what you're doing, take care of yourself, get enough sleep. That's like the basic. But you have to have good company. But you have to have good company so you can make sure that you know that you're supported by someone else, someone who's going through the same thing, the same time as you. Like having good friends is so important because they help you realize that yeah, okay, I'm not alone. I have someone I can rely on consistently. They can help me in my subjects, they can help me in my CCA, they can help me in like my life in general. You need a good support system, family or friends. You just know that it's not gonna be the end of the world if you don't do well for something. You know that there's always something to move forward to. And that's my main tip, just have good company. Because not only will you be more focused, you'll just be happier generally, and you'll be like less stressed, and you won't get in as much trouble, like with yourself and with like your school. Bad company just sucks overall. And then I also have the basic tips, which is just good time management, get enough sleep, have a planner. I tried to do this thing on Google Sheets where it was like you just make a sheet and you try and like put the time in, and you just schedule and plan out like every hour of your day, and you just do it every Sundays, I guess, so you can plan the next week, and it's great. It works great, I think. Okay, next, what are your favorite subjects? Great question. I love talking about my favorite subjects. My favorite subjects are econ and lit. As you can tell, I'm not a math or science girly. That's why I'm in the art stream. But I love econs and lit. I just love the critical thinking that comes with it. Econs isn't completely common sense, but there are like some common sense parts which I love. Like the evaluation and econ essays. That's so fun. Like you just, okay, how will this policy not be as effective in this country? I just love that kind of stuff. Like I love evaluating, and for lit, I just love analyzing, going to every small nook and cranny of a poem, just trying to understand what's happening through words. Like the pictures aren't even there, but imagery exists, so you can already imagine in your head. Like that's beautiful. Now for the last question, was it difficult to adjust to JC? I've heard it's quite a huge jump from secondary school. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. The first 2 months will feel like hell. You'll just be so stressed. And in my secondary school, and I don't think a lot of secondary schools have this too, like there's no lectures. So it was very, I don't know, it was confusing that the entire cohort sat down and just listened. And then there's something called tutorials where you just sit and do work. You don't learn anything new because you learn everything during the lectures. That was a little confusing for me to understand, but like I think once you get the hang of it after 2 months, where you're like, okay, lecture is notes, tutorial is doing the questions. It takes a while, but then you realize, and then you start focusing more on lectures, and you realize that okay, it's a lot of work, but it's manageable once you know how to. It is definitely a huge jump from secondary school, because secondary school was so chill, but now it's like JC is like, again, like I said, one thing after another, so you're always doing something. So you just have to make sure that, again, time management, and plan out your time and have good company. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for the support in my last video, and I hope my answers were good to your questions. I hope it clarified any doubts you had about JC, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.